We've asked Dr. Tarbox to talk to us for just a minute about safety and how we can help our children to prevent wandering and elopement. So Dr. Tarbox, give us some tips.
Sure. So actually there is some research on teaching safety skills and decreasing wandering and elopement type behaviors in kids with autism. And so that's the good news. But I think the first thing that all of us should ask ourselves, both as parents of kids on the spectrum, but also as treatment providers, is let's, today, with every kid that we work with or every kid that lives with us in our home, let's stop and take a minute and say, okay, with all of the things that I'm teaching, are we addressing safety skills? Is there a safety issue? And if there is, are we addressing it? Are we taking specific steps to actually teaching the skills that my particular child or my particular student or client on the spectrum needs in order to be more independent and more safe in their life? And I would say probably most people would say, well, not really. It's something we know matters. We've thought about it. We kind of try to address it when it comes up. But is there a goal in the kid's treatment plan? If there isn't, that means we're not doing enough to address it, okay? And maybe some kids on the spectrum don't need it, right? Maybe some already have the skills. But for any kid for whom they could actually use some more teaching and training on safety skills, it needs to be an explicit goal in the kid's treatment plan, whether it's their IEP or their ABA treatment plan, whatever it is, and there needs to be specified procedures and time set aside to make sure the kid learns that skill. So that would be the first place to start.
Okay, absolutely essential. And I think we could all do more.
That's right.
I think everybody could.
Absolutely.
Anything else that we want to be mindful of right from the jump?
Sure. So there's a variety of safety skills, right? Crossing the street safely, what to do when someone rings the doorbell. You don't just go answer the door, you go get mom instead. What to do when a stranger approaches you, right? Don't go with the stranger, run away and go find your parent. What to do if you find yourself lost in public, whether you're in a store, at an amusement park, or a regular city park, whatever it is, etc. So there's lots of different safety skills. So the first thing you want to do is figure out which particular skills are probably most relevant for my child, and then how are we going to teach them? And the good news is good old-fashioned ABA teaching procedures work great for safety skills. And so what we've actually done some research on this. It works great. What you do is repeated practice, just like everything else. Anytime you want to learn something and get good at it, repeated practice. Prompting, that means giving the kid help so that they can be successful, right? So you set up the scenario, you give them help so they can be successful, and then you need to reward the behavior. You need to motivate the kid to try hard in the learning environment, and as they're successful, then you need to fade out the prompting, fade out the help, and make sure you have lots of different practice opportunities across a lot of different environments and with a lot of different people teaching the skill, right? So if only mom is the one that nags the kid to remember to cross the street properly, he's not necessarily going to do it properly when he's with dad or when he's with a nanny or other people. Everybody on the team has to be involved. And it's a lot of practice across a lot of opportunities. Again, not just one street, right? If you really want your kid to learn how to cross the street safely, you might need to practice to cross 10 different intersections in your neighborhood, and then maybe go to another neighborhood, right? Stop signs versus traffic lights. You might need to explicitly practice all of these different scenarios until you see your child able to do it independently without you reminding them at a new location that they've never been trained at. That's when you know you're done. Okay, now if people have more questions and they want to see some of the research that you guys have done on safety, where can they go? So they can email me, j.tarbox@centerforautism.com, and I'd be happy to forward them some research articles that show different methods for teaching safety skills. And there are actually some safety lessons in the skills curriculum as well, so people can have a look at that. It's free to just take a look at that. But yeah, I'd be happy to help spread information however I can. Wonderful. Such helpful information. It's going to change how I'm going to do things starting today. There's always more we can do, right? It's a good reality check for all of us. And again, not just parents of kids on the spectrum, but everybody, right? Absolutely. It's easy to not pay enough attention to safety issues because they're so low in frequency, right? Like your child will probably never need to use their stranger avoidance skills, hopefully, right? Probably never. I don't know. If there's one time when they need to, they need to know those skills, right? So it's really important. I mean, I think they're going to use the skills time and time. They might even use it once a week, but when it's of life and death, I think you're right. Hopefully they won't have to deal with that. But I see all the time, I'm somebody who forgets, even though I'm a parent, I'll talk to all children
It's
yeah.
like my brain goes on vacation. I love kids and I'll talk to them, and frequently a child will, and I go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm a stranger. I don't know why I was expecting you to talk to me, right? But but I'm seeing more kids saying, I can't talk to you, you're a stranger, and that's exactly what they should do. Really important that we teach our kids these things, and in depth. I know my son went through the safety protocol at the Center for Autism and Related Disorders, and Ryan was, point on a couple of different things with us when we did that. And my son eventually was tested a couple of times in situations where he didn't realize he was being tested, and he passed.
Yeah, good for him. That's excellent.
Good for all of us.
Yeah. One more quick point, too, to your viewers. Research has actually shown that the normal way that safety skills are usually taught doesn't work. Okay? So the normal way that safety skills are addressed in children is you get all the kids together in a classroom, maybe show a video, maybe even have a police officer come in and talk to the kids, and then we're done. And we kind of hope that the kids figure out the process of generalizing what they learned in that classroom to real life opportunities. But research actually shows a lot of kids don't. It doesn't work. So that initial classroom lecture, great idea, right? Can't hurt, but it needs to be followed up with real life testing. You got to put the kid in the real scenario, make it safe, obviously, right? You don't want to just see if the kid drowns, obviously, right? Make the scenario safe and then test it. Actually put the kid in there and see, do they respond in a safe way? And if they do, fantastic. If they don't, then you need direct training in lots of different real life scenarios.